Hello lovelies, it's Lesley. Not quite enough. Don't know yet, it's only Monday. How are we? Hope everyone's okay. Thank you for all your thoughts and comments on last week's vlog. And previous vlogs, not just last week's. Thank you. The weekend was very pleasant. We went out for an afternoon tea. So we were talking about going out for dinner. And then we decided to go for an afternoon tea instead. And this was at a cafe at a village near to us. Very interesting cafe. We'd heard good things about it, which were all proven to be valid. It's also got a gift shop in it, not unusual, and a hairdressing salon. And it did occur to me that if you were sitting there enjoying an afternoon tea and someone was having a perm in the other half of the building, that might affect the pleasure of your delicate little cake. But maybe they don't do perms or colours and all the things that have a strong chemical smell to them. Who knows? But it's very nice. To those who don't know what an afternoon tea is, it's basically a selection of sandwiches, and these are little finger sandwiches, you know, these are little, the idea is that everything is quite sort of delicate. So there were some sandwiches, there were a couple of scones each, there were 2 fruit scones and 2 plain, and I don't eat dried fruit, so himself had those. I had the plain ones, they were very nice, served with clotted cream and jam, of course. I go Cornish style on mine. Some people prefer Devon. There's a raging debate in the UK. When you have scones with cream and jam, in Devon, the cream goes on top of the scone and then the jam goes on top of the cream. In Cornwall, it's the other way around. Yes, one of those strange geographical oddities. And then, oh, there was a little sausage roll as well in the afternoon tea. I mean, I'm assuming you can order a vegetarian one because some of the sandwiches had meat fillings, but and then there was a selection of cakes. So there was a macaron, a little Victoria sponge, little chocolate cake, a little pastry. There was loads of it. We ended up bringing a load back. They did say, you know, we'll give you foil to wrap up a little parcel of what you'd like to take home. And we were glad they did, because there was certainly more than we could eat, and it was very pleasant. So that was Saturday afternoon. I spent the rest of the weekend finishing my bog coat. I'll put a picture in here of me wearing it. That was before I put the poppers on. I've only just put those on because they arrived today. I'm very pleased with it. It is very warm and cosy, and I'm going to talk about it at great length in the month end podcast. I'm going to record that piece very shortly. But yes, it was an experiment and it's sort of worked. And there are so many ways to adapt to this pattern, which is one of the things I'll discuss in the month end podcast. Oh my goodness, this is not the first and last bog coat or bog jacket that I'll be making. I will be making more because I like it very much, and it's so cosy. The weather has gone very chilly here all of a sudden. We seem to have gone from summer to winter without stopping for autumn in the middle. Very cold. Everyone's saying, oh, my heating's come on, you know. So yes, we're having a few chilly days, and this is perfect because where I made it on the whirly whirly machine, it is double thickness because each of these stripes is made of a tube, so they are double thickness. So it is very cosy, and I would have to say probably snooze inducing. I can see myself sleeping in this a lot. So now it's Monday and I've got a bit of work to do, so I better crack on. Cheers. Hello lovelies, it's Tuesday as I record this bit. I'm doing things a bit out of order this week, just because of the commitments I've got during the week. But I'm going to talk about this week's suggestions relating to Black History Month. So a quick recap. It's Black History Month in the UK. I realise it's another month in other countries. There is an argument to say Black History Month should be every month, because without Black History we have no history. But I digress. Each week for Black History Month in the UK, I am talking about a book that may be of interest to you, and also giving away a pattern from a Black British designer. So, the book this week is fiction. We've had a couple of non-fictions. I've gone for a fiction this time, and this is by Bernadine Evaristo, who is a British Nigerian writer, and the book is called Blonde Roots, and it's an alternative history work of fiction, and what it does is reverses the roles within the transatlantic slavery blot on our history. So rather than it being British people that had gone to Africa and taken people, it's the other way around. This is African people have gone to Europe, taken people, taken them to Africa. Some of them made their way to the New World. So the same process, different relationships within it. And it's a very interesting read. Not an easy read at times. It does talk about experiences of enslaved peoples, which were pretty horrendous, both on journey and in situ. But it is a very interesting read, and there's a lot of humour in it. I don't know how much of that relates to being British. I say that because a lot of the place names are kind of variations of British place names that people from outside the UK may not know, but it kind of made me go, oh right, you know, it's one of those. But a really interesting read, and just makes you think, and anything that makes us think has got to be good. And it shows the process through different eyes and makes us examine it in a new way. So like I say, not an easy read. It's not massively graphic, but the experiences of the characters are difficult, as the experiences of enslaved peoples were. So it's reflecting that truth. So not a comfortable read, but I think a worthwhile one, and one that I enjoyed very much, and yeah, stayed with me and made me think. So all for that. That's the book recommendation. This week I will be giving a pattern away from, let me just get the details. Now this is a new to me designer as well. This is Kunbi Io Akanlawan. I really hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Goes under handmadebykunbi.com on her website, and there are designs on Ravelry as well. Kunbi designs for knitting and crochet. There are accessories, there are clothes, a couple of blankets in there. Yeah, so a good selection of things. So I will link the designer page below, and as with previous weeks, if you can put in your comment BHM for Black History Month and which of Kunbi's designs you would like to win, then I will draw that next Friday, which will be the 27th. Yep, that's right. And good luck in the draw. Thank you very much. That's it for this week. No, it's not for this week. That's it for today. Tomorrow I'm off to London, so I'll try and get some footage in. And if you don't see it this week, you'll see it next week. It's just pressure of work, the other side of it, to get the vlog up. Cheers. Hello, lovelies. It's Thursday. And yesterday I had a lovely day in London. And I have 0 pictures to show you. And as a podcaster, I'm sorry. But as someone who was having a lovely day with other people, not sorry at all. So I will try and paint a picture with words. My train was late. It was a cold day as I left Hastings. No, I won't do that. My train got delayed by about 20 minutes. So I sort of met up with Brenda 20 minutes later than intended. Met her at the hotel where she was staying. And met her son as well. Lovely people. Brenda and I have had some kind of fairly in-depth conversations via email. And one of those people you feel like you know really well, even though haven't actually met before. So it was just lovely to meet her in person. And also came along Natalie Warner, who Brenda knows, again, online through courses that she's done. And I'd not met Natalie before, but oh goodness, I was so glad I did. We hit it off. There was a lot of laughter. Just really lovely person. Very talented person. I'm going to link her website below. Natalie Warner is Natalie in Stitches. She is a designer. She also does courses on designing, that process, on fit. She does clothes making. By that I mean sewing. So just a hugely talented person and a lot of fun. Yeah, just really delighted to meet her, and you never know how it's going to be when you're meeting someone for the first time, but oh goodness, we were hugging. It was just and we found out we had huge amounts in common. Even family football allegiances were in common. So, and neither of us are that keen on football, but you have that around you if you're in a family that likes sports. So yeah, just really great to meet her. Absolutely lovely to see Brenda. Oh, just a really super great smashing day. So a lot of it involved chatting. A lot of chatting involved. So we chatted for a while with Brenda, then at the hotel. Then we walked around to a cafe and got some lunch and sat outside for quite a while. It wasn't the warmest of days, but it was kind of nice to be out in the fresh air, and there wasn't a huge amount of space in the cafe, so we sat outside. Then we went in for a while, and yeah, just really nice. Just the conversation kept flowing. It was great. We then decided we were going to go yarn shopping. Natalie and Brenda had been fabric shopping earlier in the week. They have sewing in common as well as knitting, and so we looked at what the nearest yarn shop is, and it is one I've been to before. Went there last year with Barb, and that's Beautiful Knitters, which is in Pimlico. But before I show you the spoils from there, Brenda very kindly gave me a couple of things as well. Well, more than a couple, but I'm going to show you a couple of them. Her daughter, Jyoti, is a writer, a new writer, and Brenda very kindly gave me a copy of her first book. So I'm looking forward to reading this. So that's A Forest Without Trees by J.P. Solanki Davy, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And she also gave me a bookmark, and she gave me some yarn, which was incredibly kind. And this is Songbird Yarn and Fibres in the American Kestrel colourway, which is absolutely lovely. The light isn't great in here, but actually it's showing up the colours pretty true to them, so that's good. So that was lovely. Now when we got to Beautiful Knitters, poor Natalie, everything she picked up that she really liked, it was the last skein or the last ball, or you know, it was being discontinued, or the shop wasn't carrying that yarn anymore. It was just like, it felt as if everything she liked was running out. But she found a couple of bits she liked, as did Brenda, and needless to say, as did I. I had birthday money to spend. So, but the first thing I bought is actually the prize, the as yet unclaimed prize from the month-end podcast make-along. So please do claim this. Let me just, I think I have the name in my head, but I want to be absolutely sure. Yes, Lynn from Maine, Four Pines Knitting. Please claim this yarn, or I'll have to give it to someone else. It is Schwerdenrott, which there was a German lady in the shop who told me that this means Swedish red, although it's a German company. I have probably mispronounced it. I have no German, unfortunately, but it's their luxury sock. 75-25, 100 grams, 425 metres. Sunset Avenue is the colourway. So we've got a really soft silver with some pops of orange and pink. So please claim this, Lynn, or I will redraw. I'm sorry, I have to be harsh on this. So bought that. That's a giveaway. That's a prize for the make-along. The rest is all for me. I was spending birthday money. Earth Yarns do fingering weight. This is their unique sock yarn. Now it's a self-striping. I am not much of a sock maker, but I am intrigued as to how this would knit up. I'm thinking entrelac and little blocks of colour. That's what I'm thinking. I'll try it and see. That's, you know, what I can do. I got some Schwerdenrott yarns myself, and again it's on their luxury sock base, and this is called Miami Vibes. The way it's coming up, actually if I take my head out of it for a moment. Yeah, I'm not sure that's showing any better. It's looking more like stripes than pops and speckles, but it's a lovely sort of purpley blue on white with yellow and pink and green and all the lovely things. So I like that very much. And this one, we were talking about the yarns that just kind of catch your eye as you're walking around the shop. This one did. This is by Handfarvet Garn. Silsariget? I have no idea. I am so sorry. Judging by their website address, they're in Denmark. And keeping on the Miami theme, this one is called Miami Beach. And a lot of sort of pale yellow in here. Sorry, it's blowing out because of the light. But also pinks and greens. So definitely get the Miami connection on this one in particular. And this is 100% merino. 366 metres, 400 yards per 100 grams, but so pretty. Oh, so after Beautiful Knitters, and when we went into the shop, it was really odd because there were like 3 of us. We'd got off a bus and we were walking, yeah, we weren't far from the bus stop to the shop. And at that time, a couple of people were coming across the road and we realised they were going in. And then we heard, I think there were 2 or 3 people behind us saying, oh, this is it. So suddenly 8 of us went into this shop all at once. It must have looked like a coach had dropped us off or something. The people who own and work in the shop must have been thinking, is there something going on we don't know about? But it was, I mean, it's a lovely shop anyway. It has a very good variety of yarns. And they're all pretty scrummy. Brenda found a fabulous fuchsia pink that really just caught her eye, and she got some of that, and a craft book, and you know, there are lots of lovely things. So after there, we went and found another cup of tea and a little munch to eat, a little cake, and that was about 5 o'clock, and we were just chatting and chatting and chatting, and then we realised it was 8 o'clock. And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to go home. And we could have sat there chatting for a lot longer. Yeah, they were just great company. We touched on serious things, we touched on laughter, we touched on personal stuff, we touched on general stuff. It was just a really nice day. Yeah, a really good day. That's it. So I went back with Brenda to her hotel. Her son was taking a course all day, otherwise he'd have been dragged around yarn shops and tea shops with us. But yes, he was doing a course. So, and then got back to my station, caught the train home. Actually got home about 11:30 last night. So I'm a little bit sleepy, because the other thing is, with a good day like that, with lots of conversation, or even, you know, good evening, good couple of hours, what have you, if it's then bedtime, my head is too busy. It's just kind of, ooh. So I had to have a bit of kind of decompression time, even though I'd been sitting on the train for, you know, an hour and a half. Just needed a bit of decompression time before I could go to sleep. So today has been largely fuelled by more tea and biscuits. It's been one of those days where I felt like I've needed to graze on nice food that will give me energy. So that's what I've been doing today. But the tiredness, all worth it, because it was such a lovely day. So again, as a podcaster, sorry that I don't have pictures and footage to show you, but life is about experiencing, not just witnessing. So I'm sharing with you my experience. So, as I say, I will put Natalie's website below. She's a very talented designer, very much interested in texture, sort of classic shapes and texture. And if you like knitting in thicker weight yarns, she's your girl, because she likes working in double knitting weight, Aran weight, those thicker yarns, rather than the 4-plies and the fingerings and that sort of thing that a lot of people go for. So it was just so lovely to meet her. Such an interesting person, and I hope it's not too long before I see her again for more chat. But it was just a really lovely day. Brenda is now off to another part of the country with her son, and I'm just very grateful that they chose to spend their time with me. Her, Natalie, her son, Brenda's son, just a really super time, and I feel very privileged to have been invited to share part of it with them. So thank you to them. And yeah, that was good. It was very good. I feel like there's something else I've got to say to you. Hopefully I'll remember by the morning when I do the draw for the pattern from last week's vlog. But although it's 6:25 in the evening, I've got to go and do some work. So that's what I'm going to go and do. Thanks, everyone. Hello, lovelies. Apologies, this light is dreadful, so I shall keep this bit brief. And the dog's making a noise, and oh dear me. Right. Hello, it's Friday. Hello, lovelies. What did I want to say to you? Firstly, congratulations to Jenny Miller, who won the pattern from last week. Jenny wants the blackberry sweater. So congratulations. I've put a reply on your comment, and if you can just let me have your Ravelry name, I will get that pattern over to you. So don't forget, if you want to win a pattern for this week, BHM and the pattern that you would like, and the designer page is listed below. I'm going to throw loads of names at you now. I mentioned Natalie that I met on Wednesday. She has courses, so if you're interested in design, in fit, in any of those elements of creating patterns or adapting patterns, the link is below that you can have a look at her courses. Also, the wonderful Valorie is offering, Valorie is the host of, does the IT side for Barbara's Flame and Fibre Zoom meetings. She's a fabulous human being. She is also a very, very experienced knitter and crafter. She's designed, she's done loads of things. She has been in a situation recently where her car, it is no more. It has ceased to be. And she is looking to buy a replacement car and is willing to put the hours in and work to do that. There is a GoFundMe as well. I'll try and find the link and put that below. But if you would like help with a knitting pattern, with a project, with any techniques, Valorie is offering that service as a Zoom tutorial at very reasonable rates. So I will put her contact details below as well. So sorry, I'm throwing lots of names at you. But, but just a reminder that the pattern prize this week are designs from Kunbi Okanlawan, and again I hope I'm pronouncing that as I should. Have a look at the project page, which is linked below, and put a comment in the video. Oh, words are not my strength today. Put a comment below containing BHM for Black History Month and which pattern you would like, and if you can do that by the end of Thursday, then next Friday I will be drawing the winner. Thanks everyone. There's some footage of the dog coming up. I swear she has moved since last week. It looks like she's in the same place. Well, she is in the same place, but she had moved in between. She's found that as a very comfortable place to be. Have a good week everyone. Take care of yourselves. Keep well, enjoy your crafting, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.